Okay, 5/6s. This video is explaining how to work through the activity rectangle tangle. It's one of my favourite activities to help you understand your common fractions. And what we're doing is finding fraction values of the whole thing. So here's a copy that I just pulled off the printer. I'm just going to pop it down there and hopefully the tripod works. And what we're looking at here is finding the fraction values of this whole rectangle. So the whole rectangle equals 1. And I'm just going to draw that here. The whole thing is one whole. Righto. Now, what I want to find first, I'm just going to take you through how to find this one. There'll also be a bit of fraction multiplying. Don't stress, I'll take you through it again. And I'm going to find this value here. So you'll see it on your screen as number 1, or it might even be in colour, but for me it's black and white, so you just have to deal with that. Okay, so you can see here the whole rectangle is divided by these lines into 4, and on here it looks like that. So you can see when I talk about this, I've now broken it into quarters. Okay, so I'm talking about dividing into 4 different bits, which are quarters. Now, you'll be able to notice straight away that this shaded rectangle here, number 1, is actually half of this quarter here. So what I'm talking about, and if I show it on here, I've done it that way, okay? And so you can see that I have broken up my rectangle into 4 different bits. Of one of those 4, I've got I've cut it in half. So we're going to do some multiplying of fractions now. So it's 1/2 of 1/4. Now we think this, Tim, what did you say? That's a multiplication symbol. Yeah, but it means of. So if you think 5 times 5 is 25, what I'm actually doing is 5 groups of 5 equals 25. So this symbol doesn't always mean multiply in that we are it's only multiplying. It's actually telling us of, and I've got groups of something. So half of a group of a quarter is really kind of what it means, or half of a quarter, and that's a simple way to think of it. So 5 of 5 is 25, and half of a quarter. So let's look through it. Now this, you may be freaking out about, oh no, we're multiplying fractions. This is okay, because we're multiplying, I can just do 1 times 1, so I'm working across the top. 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 times 4 is 8. So half of a quarter is 8. Now, I'm just going to check that. Could I fit this shaded rectangle in here 8 times? Because I'm saying that it's 1 out of 8. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so that looks like that is exactly 1/8 of this total triangle. So part 1, and I've already given it to you, figure 1 is 1/8. Okay, and now, oh, hang on, I'm going to do the same thing here for number 2. So this is half of that again. So half of 1/8 equals, and it's the same thing, 1 times 1, 1, 2, and there we go. So I don't want to give away too much, but that is, if you just work off that, you'll find you can work through it. And don't be afraid of making mistakes, and there might be bits you don't quite get, but do as much of this one as you can. It might get a bit tricky when you come down to the diagonals, but just do the same thing that I did. Just find the fraction that you know, and then, oh, that's half of it, or it's a quarter of it, and so on and so on. And don't be afraid of multiplying those fractions. Good luck.